Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Woodard Physical Education Center on the campus of Emory University for today's conference matchup between the Brandeis University judges and your Emory Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
So as the final notes of the national anthem waft into the rafters here at the Woodpick Center, we are getting ready for UAA basketball. The Emory Eagles taking on the judges of Brandeis. Let's check out the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the judges of Brandeis, we've got Chandler Jones, a 6'5 junior. He's averaging 13.9 points per game, number 3. Also in the starting lineup, number 12, the senior, Colin Sawyer. He's averaging 15.8 points per game. He is the leading scorer for Brandeis. Also in the starting lineup, we've got number 25, Nolan Haggerty, a 6'6 sophomore. He's averaging 8.8 points per game. Number 20, Sam Nasser, is a 6'3 sophomore out of Milford, Connecticut. He's averaging 1.8 points per game. And number 5, Dylan Lean, a 6'2 freshman out of Northborough, Massachusetts. And he's averaging 6 points per contest. For your Emory Eagles in the starting lineup, number 10, Romin Williams, the team's leading scorer, averaging 17 points a game. He's 5'9", 155-pounder out of Harvey, Louisiana. In the starting lineup, the point guard, Nick Stuck, averaging just a whisker under 10 points per game, 6'2 junior out of Lithia, Florida. In the middle, it's number 14, Lawrence Rowley, 6'5 junior, 200-pounder out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. Lawrence is averaging 13 points and 8.3 rebounds per game. And number 32, Matthew Schneer, 6'4 junior out of Boca Raton, Florida, averaging 15.6 points per game and 7.6 rebounds per game. And in the starting lineup today, the senior, Nick Tupianen, the 6'3 senior out of Dover, Massachusetts. He'll be in the starting lineup for today's game as Emory honors its lone senior. Now, just one this year. Next year, there's going to be a whole passel of seniors, as this is a junior-dominated team. But as for right now, we're getting ready to go against the judges. Emory has only lost 3 times this year, to Guilford and to Brandeis, both those on buzzer beaters, and then to the University of Chicago. Emory is ranked 9th in all of Division III this week, and they are 18-3, 8-2, and tied with Washington University for the top spot in the conference, with just 4 regular season conference games to go. Coach Jason Zimmerman, now in his 13th season for the Emory Eagles, has won 231 games, lost just 106. He's the all-time leading winner in men's basketball history. We're getting ready to jump center. We've got Nolan Haggerty going up against our big guy, Lawrence Rowley. It's controlled by the blue-clad judges of Brandeis, and this game is underway on senior day here at Emory University. Top of the key is Lean, the freshman. Long-range jumper is good by number 12, Colin Sawyer, the team's leading scorer. And right off the bat, the judges jump out to the lead at 3-zip. Romin Williams, number 10. He's Emory's leading scorer. Top of the key to Rowley. Romin from 3. Bingo! Tie game just like that, 3-3. It's good to see Romin Williams get off to a good start. Nasser now with it, goes to the sideline to Lean. Lean inside now. Haggerty comes back outside. Sawyer to Jones inside. Haggerty looking for somewhere to go. Lean from 3. Bingo! Another 3-pointer. So 3 shots taken, all hit, and all 3-pointers as it's 6-3. Nice lob pass in there, and Matthew Snare scores, gets hammered, and he'll get a chance for a 3-point play. Nice lob pass in there. Matthew grabbed it, went up, got clobbered in the head, put it in, and we've had 3 3-pointers and now a chance for a 3-point play. Brandeis lost Friday at Rochester to drop out of a tie for first place. In and out, no good. But Emory gets the ball right back and a chance to take the lead. And there's a whistle away from the ball. Whistle's on number 5, Dylan Lean. So it's his first, the team's first, the game's first. And Nick Tupianen will check in the ball, and away we go. Nick Stuck, who's done a great job at the point guard all season long for Emory. He's the team's leader in assists. Drives in, gives it out to the side. Rowley from 3, a little short. Matthew Snare is called for the foul as he was trying to get position. And that's his first and the team's first. Emory going to pick up with a little full court pressure with Brandeis with a 1-point lead. It's 6-5. Jones with it now, passes across to Sawyer. Sawyer's the team's leading scorer on the season to Nasser, who's the point guard more or less. Lean there. Inside it goes. Emory in a man-to-man defense, which is normal. Sometimes they play a little bit of matchup zone, but most of the time they're out there in man-to-man. Inside it goes to Haggerty. He banks it off, no good. Cleaned out of there by Tupianen on a nice rebound. Romin Williams dishes it off to Rowley. Rowley up and just won't quite go, but he draws the foul, and Lawrence will go to the free throw line with a chance to score twice. Lawrence is a 6'5" junior, 200-pounder out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. He's a 71% free throw shooter. He's the team's leading rebounder. And he's averaging 13 points a game as well as he hits the first to tie the game. Emory's yet to lead in this one. Matan Zucker now checks in, number 23. He's a 6'5" freshman. And Emory takes its first lead at 7-6 thanks to those free throws. Matthew Snare really working hard against Chandler Jones. And Chandler just about double dribbles. He thought his teammate was going to pick up that bounce, and he didn't. Sawyer now with it. Gives it up to Nasser. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Nasser dribbling around. He's got to get it off. He does. It's too hard. Hits the top of the backboard. But then it's a rebound by the guy that just came in, Matan Zucker. And it's 8-7. That's good timing from Matan Zucker. He comes in the first couple of seconds, grabs a rebound and went high off the board, puts it back up and in. That's always a good feeling. Nick now will trigger the inbounds pass. He goes to Nick Stuck. Snare with it, top of the key. Nick, good outside shooter. Jumper a little bit too hard by Romin Williams. Cleared out of there by Lean, and he'll bring it on up. Sawyer back outside. Long ranger, no good. And Lawrence Rowley just jumps through the roof and grabs that rebound. In comes Romin Williams. He draws the foul, so he'll go to the free throw line. Coach Jason Zimmerman says there is no one in all of Division III quicker from baseline to baseline or from free throw line to free throw line than Romin Williams. He can just really motor with that basketball. He is so quick, he can create his own shots anytime he wants. He's a good free throw shooter, hitting 78%, and he hits that one to tie the game up at 8-8. Nick now takes a seat as Mason Johnson checks back in the lineup for the first time. In and out and back in again as Emory regains the 1-point lead at 9-8. Romin Williams leading the way today with 5 points already. Lawrence Rowley has a hoop, as does Matthew Schnare. Good give and go by the judges. Lost handle there by Sawyer. Has to come back out. Lawrence Sabir is checked in, number 2 for the judges. He's one of the team's point guards. He drives in, goes to the corner. Three-pointer up and in by Austin Clamage, who just also checked in. So Brandeis now with a 2-point lead at 11-9. 16-12 to go here in the first half. Emory coming off a big win over the Violets of NYU. Mason Johnson just in. He misfires on his first shot of the game. Sawyer to Jones. Jones top of the key. Jones is the second leading scorer on this team, averaging 13.8 points per game. He can handle the ball very well. There's Clamage. He comes up top to Sawyer. Sawyer goes inside here. Now to Zucker, who just checked in. No good. Rebound by the point guard, Nick Stuck, who brings it quickly up court, puts it up, blocked, and outfly the judges. Chandler Jones from way outside, in and out, no good. Long rebound goes to Nick Stuck. And Emory with a 5-4 break here. Wide open is Mason Johnson, and he makes the judges pay as Mason Johnson drains the three-pointer as Emory takes the lead now 12-11. And we have a timeout called, the first timeout of the first half. With 15-14 to go, a very exciting and fun game to watch as both teams go up and down the court. Both teams shooting pretty well from three-point land. Romin Williams is your leading scorer with 5 points for the Emory Eagles. Lawrence Rowley has 2. Matthew Schnare has 2. And then, of course, Mason Johnson just hit that three-pointer. Going the other way, Austin Clamage, he has 3. Chandler Jones has 3. Matan Zucker, who checked in, he has 3. And we're about ready to go as Chandler Jones is going to trigger the ball inbounds. Emory with just some light pressure, hoping for a turnover, but more than likely it just helps run the shot clock down before the opponent can get into their offensive set. Over it goes to Zucker, looking for somewhere to go. Eric Diaguano, a senior, just checked in, number 22. He's averaging in double figures. He's a good shooter. He's got the ball there, puts it up, kind of a running one-hander. Doesn't hit anything, and out comes Romin Williams. So quick, watch him go to the hoop, puts up with the left hand just a little too hard. Cleared out of there by Clamage. And then right down Main Street goes Lawrence Sabir, who lays it up and in. And Brandeis regains the lead at 13-12. Mason Johnson looking for somewhere to go. He just hit that three-pointer a second ago. And we've got a big foul. I think it's going to be on number 2. Lawrence Sabir was trying to fight through a pick. That's his first. That's the team's 4th. Lawrence Rowley now takes a breather. And in comes Luke Morrison, who's done a great job the last several games coming in off the bench. And Greg Lawrence also checks in, number 12. As does Matt Davitt, number 21, who hits the jumper right off the bat. Matt Davitt averaging 13.1 points per game. And he has done an outstanding job for this team. He was in a starter's role throughout the early part of the season, then moved to that first guy off the bench, the super sub, and he's just done a great job coming in and providing Emory with some offensive spark right off the bench. Tipped in, up, no good. by Nolan Haggerty, and here come the Eagles. Nick Stuck looking for somewhere to go. Greg Lawrence now checks it over. Matt Davitt thought about the three. Goes inside now to Greg Lawrence, who comes back out. Emory is so unselfish. They just pass the ball and pass the ball. Quick, crisp passes. That's how you beat a zone. That's how you get guys open. And that's what Emory has been so good at. So Nick Stuck and Greg Lawrence. And Greg with that big wide, just like I was saying, the big wide arm span and leg span, kicks the ball there. Just a perfect body type to put out there in that kind of pressure. Derek Justin has just checked in at number 0. Perfect name for the Brandeis judges. Justice. Jones with it now. One of the starters goes inside. And Haggerty with a nice move puts it up and puts it in. And it's 15-14. Very close game all the way around. Emory's biggest lead has been 1. Brandeis' biggest lead has been 3. A lot of lead changes. Mason Johnson drives into the lane. Greg Lawrence from 3. No good. Rebound goes to Diaguano, the senior. He gives it up to Justice. Now to Diaguano, who's a good shooter. He's averaging in double figures, so Emory will keep an eye on him. Justice now trying to reset the offense. 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. Justice drives on down, and Justice is served for the Brandeis judges as he hits, and it's 17-14. 3-point lead, long range. Matt Davitt, the dagger from downtown Brown. And that ties the game up at 17-17. Matt Davitt has come off the bench to hit a pair of three-pointers. That one from downtown Tucker, and in it goes. Justice again drives in. It's blocked. Matt Davitt just said, no, don't bring the weak stuff in here. Blocks it away. They've called a foul on Matt, and that's his first. So Justice is going to go to the free throw line. There, Justice misfires there. 17-17, 11:49 to go. This game, these two teams played at Brandeis earlier in the season. Brandeis winning that one 75-73 on a buzzer beater. No good there, and Matt Davitt grabs the rebound quickly out to Romin Williams. Nobody can stop this guy. Around the horn they go. Matt thought about the three, drives in, gives it up. It's tipped away by Colin Sawyer, and so it's going to be Emory basketball with 19 seconds to go on the shot clock. Tied game, 17-17. Emory's biggest lead, just 1. Brandeis' biggest lead, 3. Game started out with 3 3-pointers amongst the two teams. Long ranger, Mason Johnson, in and out, no good. And Justice goes up high and grabs the rebound and brings it on down himself. Clamage with it now, top of the key to Diaguano. Haggerty shuffles his feet, has to give it up to Clamage. Diaguano, 8 seconds to go. They go inside. Haggerty nowhere to go. No good by Sawyer, and out fly the Eagles. Again, it's Romin Williams looking for a hole. Comes back outside. Long ranger, Luke Morrison, no good. Diaguano with the rebound. Justice, and Justice says, let's slow this thing down just a little bit. Justice is going to be checked by Matthew Schneer. Sawyer to Justice. Tie game, 17-17. And there's Haggerty muscling in, fouling Davitt on an offensive foul. So that's his second. So he may take a seat for the rest of the half. He's going to take a seat for right now. 10:32 to go, so lots of time remaining. as number 23, Matan Zucker, checks in. Romin Williams with it, brings it across court. Emory with a little bit taller lineup in there right now. And they got a traveling call called. Taking away a hoop by Mason Johnson. Still 17-17, both teams stuck on that number for a little bit. 10-18 to go here in the first half. And Justice is going to bring it across. Clamage with it now to Diaguano. Diaguano averages 10 a game. He's yet to score in this one. Clamage, his brother plays at Rochester. Diaguano muscling in, has to stop. And there's Sawyer, blocked nicely by Lawrence Rowley. And there's a foul called. It's going to go against Emory. The foul's on Mason Johnson. That's his first. That's the team's third. And that sends Colin Sawyer to the free throw line, where he is a 78% free throw shooter. A little short on that one. And it remains 17-17, like a football score. So he'll try the second one. And he gets that one, so it's 18-17 now. Brandeis with a 1-point lead. Again, Emory's biggest lead, just the one. Yes! Home run shot right there by Romin Williams, his second three-pointer. He has 8 points, and now Emory has a bigger lead at 20-18. Into the corner, Justice looking for somewhere to go. Comes high with it, back out to Sawyer. Sawyer drives in, goes to the baseline. Jones drives in, and he steps on the line, so a turnover by the judges gives Emory the basketball. Emory has a 2-point lead. Mason Johnson checks back into the lineup as Luke Morrison takes a seat. So Nick Stuck is out there, Matthew Schnare, Romin Williams, Mason Johnson, and Lawrence Rowley. So the normal starting five. Here's another three-pointer, in and out, no good by Romin. Last touched by an Eagle, and it's going to be Brandeis basketball with an even 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Emory with a 2-point lead at 20-18. Sabir's going to bring it up. He tells Iguano to go down on the blocks. Colin Sawyer with it now. The Iguano thought about the three. Goes inside to Jones. Jones with a jumper, no good, and Schneer's there to snare that rebound. Matthews done just a great job on the boards as of late. He drives in, banks it off, no good, fights for the rebound, thought he was fouled. Zucker comes away with it. Quickly into the corner it goes. No good by Sawyer. Rebound nicely by Mason Johnson. And back come the Eagles. Rowley from home run land, just short. Long rebound goes to Zucker. And it's going to go to Zabir, and he's going to slow things down just a little bit. Jones with it now. And we got a traveling call, so another turnover by the judges. Coach Gene Bain, those kind of turnovers are the bane of his existence. You know, travels, those kind of things that could be avoided. 20-18, Emory with a 2-point lead. Nick Stuck with it. Can't go backdoor. And they caught Romin Williams with a travel. So both teams with turnovers here, back to back. Emory, 8 minutes to go in the first half. Emory with a 2-point lead at 20-18. Sabir with it. He brings it across the timeline. He's checked by Nick Stuck. To Jones to Sawyer. There's the two top scorers for the judges this year, those two guys. Jones takes the baseline, goes cross court. There's Sawyer from three. A little too hard. Nice rebound by Matt Davitt, who has 2 3-pointers. Long range jumper, no good by Romin Williams. And Sawyer brings it down, still 20-18. Game got off to a very quick pace with both teams red hot, and both teams have cooled off just a little bit since then. Nice dish down to Zucker, who took a couple of steps, I think, but they're not going to call it. It's going to be a score, and it's going to be a tie game at 20-20 as the freshman scores again, and he has 4 points. Mason Johnson looking for somewhere to go, decides I'll go myself, takes it in, turnaround jumper, and in. Mason Johnson, who is averaging over 13 points a game in the last 4 games, hits that one. He has 5 points already today, and Emory has a 22-20 lead. Brandeis obviously not wanting to get into a run and gun game with the Emory Eagles. Emory leading elite, posting a league best 87.7 points per game. Davitt's going to take a breather. Romin Williams is going to take a breather. Luke Morrison checks back into the lineup. (22-20), Emory up, 6:37 to go. Emory 8-2 in conference play. Brandeis is 7-3 in conference play as they lost to Rochester on Friday. Sabir drives in, does it all himself, a fancy scoop shot, and this game's tied at 22-22, so deuces are wild. Nick Stuck down to Mason Johnson, who goes inside. Lawrence Rowley bulls his way in, hits the jump shot. He now has 4 points, and Emory has the lead again at 24-22. Sabir over to Sawyer. Emory in a man-to-man defense. Nice bounce pass. Sabir, he saw the freshman Matan Zucker wide open, made a terrific bounce pass. And this game is now tied up at 24-24. Emory's biggest lead, just 2. Brandeis' biggest lead, just 3. And that came at 3-0 on the first 3-pointer of the day, and then 6-3. And since then, this has been nip and tuck and nip. Back and forth we go. Nassar with it. He gives to the freshman Zucker, and there's a whistle called. Foul goes against Lawrence Rowley. That's his first. That's the team's 4th. Greg Lawrence now checks back in, number 12. Sawyer from 3, hits nothing but the bottom of the net, and Brandeis with a 3-point lead at 27-24. Matches the biggest of the game. Lawrence Rowley just doing it all himself, won't quite go. Nice rebound by Greg Lawrence, that's rejected. Luke Morrison with an offensive rebound, no good. And Sawyer clears it off, and here come the judges. Nasser with it now. Kind of running the point. Over the corner they go to Diaguano. Nasser back in the corner. There's Sawyer. In and out, no good. Nice rebound by Lawrence Rowley, who battled for position there and got it. Matthew Snare thought about a 3, takes it to the hoop, spins, baby hook, and in. What a move by Matthew Snare. And that's his 4th point. And Emory closes the gap to 27-26. Fun game to watch, close game to watch. Lots of lead changes there. Luke Morrison playing the good defense, tied up his player, and the possession arrow is going Emory's way, so Emory gets that one. Trailing Brandeis by a point, 27-26 with 4:26 to go. Nick Stuck with it. He'll bring it across the timeline. Greg Lawrence trying to get into Snare. Foul is called on number 12. That's Colin Sawyer. That's his first for Brandeis. So Greg Lawrence is going to take a breather. And Matt Davitt checks back in. Nasser with the rebound. Gives it up to Diaguano, who can shoot, and boy can he. He's the best three-point shooter on the team, and he hits, and that's the biggest lead of the game at 4. At 30-26. Snare with it now, bounce pass over to Romin Williams. Jumper, no good, a little bit short. Diaguano, who just hit the three-pointer, grabs the rebound as ahead to Nasser. Diaguano, you got to have a hand in his face because he's averaging over 10 points a game, and he can hit from the home run arc, as he just did. 3:38 to go. Emory down by 4. Diaguano, top of the key, gives it up. Zucker in the corner it goes. Long range, no good. Misfire there by Clamage. And Nick Stuck says, I'm going to take it. Nobody stood out to take the charge, and Nick Stuck just takes it all the way to the glass himself, cuts the lead in half. So a timeout is called, and with 3:19 to go, Brandeis leads it by 2 at 30-28. We want to give a tip of the cap to Dr. Michael Vienna, the athletic director here at Emory University, and his top lieutenant, Joyce Jalil. They do just an outstanding job running the show here. Emory has won 27 NCAA titles. They've won 202 UAA conference championships. There's been 190 academic All-Americans and 126 NCAA post-grad scholars. When you walk into the Woodruff PE Center, there are pictures of all the All-Americans and all the different sports. And I love that walk as I come up here to my perch to call the games. You see all those great All-Americans from days gone past and last year. It's just great to see. So thanks to Dr. Michael Vienna and Joyce Jalil for doing such a good job running the program. 3:17 to go in this one. Colin Sawyer with it. Brandeis with a 2-point lead, 30-28. Nasser with it, looking for somewhere to go. Nick Stuck is on him. Jones with it. He drives in, puts up the left-handed hoop, no good. Matthew Snare pulls down the rebound, a great outlet pass. Romin Williams goes strong to the hoop, but gets it blocked by Chandler Jones, and so it's going to be Emory basketball. Plenty of time, 25 seconds on the shot clock. Out it goes to Matt Davitt from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound goes Emory's way, no good. And Jones with the basketball and ahead to Nasser. 30-28, 2:36 to go. This game has been close all the way. Jones with a kind of a moving pick there. He hits the jumper, and that makes it 32-28. 4-point lead for Brandeis, matching the biggest that they've had. Mason Johnson takes it into the lane, puts up the baby hook, and he scores. Mason Johnson now with 7 points. Romin Williams has 8. Matt Davitt has 5. Zucker with it, the freshman. Boy, he shuffles his feet a lot right there. No call. Clamage with it, gives it up to Nasser. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Brandeis with a 2-point lead, 32-30. Cross it goes. Home run shot, no good by Sawyer, and a nice rebound. Ahead to Nick Stuck. Nick Stuck gives it up. Cross court it goes. Matthew Snare from 3, in and out, no good. And Mason Johnson didn't have position. He tried to sneak past Zucker and got caught. So that's his second foul, and I imagine that's it for him for the first half. He's got 2 fouls, no chance to risk getting the third with just 91 seconds to go here in the first half. Emory going to pick up a little full court pressure. Justice is back in here now, number 0. Jones brings it across. Brandeis has a lot of guys that can handle the ball. There's Diaguano, he's their home run specialist. Clamage now, inside it goes to Zucker. Zucker, and there's a sky hook. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it's 34-30. Romin Williams drives in and scores. Romin now with 10 points. Cuts the lead down to 2 at 34-32. Well, this is the kind of game we expected. Earlier in the year, they played to a 75-73 buzzer beater win for Brandeis, and this game has been close all the way. Emory 8-2, tied for the top spot. And boy, there's Diaguano again with the three-point shot. And that's the biggest lead of the game at 37-32. .21 seconds to go on the shot clock, so there's about a second time differential. Nick Stuck going to get things in motion now with 10 seconds to go. Romin Williams drives in. Nice pass to Rowley. Rowley's shot is blocked by Jones, but a whistle called. And Greg Lawrence checks back in. Matt David checks back out. Greg Lawrence just a great leaper. So in the event that Rowley would misfire on a free throw, maybe there's a chance that Greg could get the offensive board. Matt Snare, the other guy inside for Emory. In and out it goes. 3 seconds ahead it goes. Clamage from three. Misfires and misses. And that's your first half. At the end of 20 minutes of play, Brandeis leads this one 37-32. That 5-point lead, the biggest of the first half. Brandeis hit the first shot of the game, a three-pointer to go up 3-zip. Emory countered with a three. Then Brandeis hit another three-pointer. Emory eventually took the lead. The biggest lead Emory had was at 2 points. And the biggest lead that Brandeis has had is at 5. So here we are at halftime with the judges of Brandeis leading Emory 37-32. Let's check out the leading scorers right now for both teams before we take a break. For Brandeis, they are led by the freshman off the bench, Matan Zucker, who has 8 points. Colin Sawyer has 7. Derek Diaguano has 6 on a couple of three-pointers. Lawrence Sabir has 4. Austin Clamage has 3. Dylan Lean has 3. Derek Justice has 2. And Chandler Jones has 2. And Nolan Haggerty has 2. For your Emory Eagles, they're led in scoring by Romin Williams, who has 10 points. Mason Johnson came off the bench. He has 7. Matt Davitt, a couple of three-pointers. He has 5 points. Lawrence Rowley has 4. Matthew Snare has 4. Nick Stuck has 2. And that is your scoring here on Senior Day, where they're honoring Nick Tupianen, the lone senior on this Emory University roster. So we'll be back after these messages. Right now we are at the half, and Brandeis leads Emory 37-32. Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to Emory University men's basketball here at the Woodpeck Center in Atlanta, Georgia on a soggy Sunday afternoon. I'm Mark Harmon, the voice of the Eagles, and right now the Brandeis Judges lead the Eagles 37-32 at the halftime break. Let's check at some of the statistics here in the first half. Brandeis shooting very well from the field, 15 of 33 for 45.5%. From the three-point arc, Brandeis hit 6 of 14, which is 42.9%. They were just 1 of 4 at the free throw line, 25%, not so hot there. Emory shooting about 10 points, 10% below their season average. Emory hitting just 12 of 33 from the field, 36.4%. Emory hit 4 of 14 three-pointers, which is 26.6%. And Emory hit 4 of 6 free throws, which is 68.7%. In scoring, Romin Williams leads the way for Emory with 10 points. Mason Johnson came off the bench and had 7. Matt David had 5 points. Lawrence Rowley has 4. Matthew Schnare has 4. And Nick Stuck has 2. For the Brandeis Judges, they're letting score by freshman Matan Zucker, who came off the bench to score 8 points. Colin Sawyer has 7. Eric Diaguano had 2 3-pointers. He had 6 points. Lawrence Sabir came off the bench to add 4. Austin Klamich had 3. And Dylan Lean had 3. Darren Justice has 2. And Chandler Jones has 2, along with Nolan Haggerty. Now, it's also senior night here at Emory University, and we'd like to honor Nick Tupayanen, a 4-year member of the Emory University program who appeared in 75 games during his career. He has embodied the core of Emory's men's basketball: trust, commitment, care, through his hard work and dedication to the program. He helped the Eagles to an 82-69 win over Texas Lutheran in the opening round of the 2017 NCAA tournament with 12 first-half points, hitting all 4 of his three-pointers and his chances there. As for this year, he's seen action as a reserve in 14 games, total of season-high 8 points in a 106-70 win over Case Western. In addition, his unheralded yet vitally important defensive effort aided in a 73-68 win over Washington U. An outstanding student, Nick is a 3-time member of the UAA All-Academic Team and carries a 3.73 GPA and is an English major. After graduating, he'll be heading to New York City to work as a client services associate for Alpha Sites. He was joined today in the pregame festivities, which included roses and a plaque and photos with his mom, Claudia, and his dad, Michael. So congratulations to Nick Tupayanen. I know I talked to Coach Zimmerman before the season started, and he said, you know, Nick is just the epitome of what a good teammate is. He can score, he can do a lot of good things, but he just is such a great leader and such a great teammate, always encouraging everybody on the ball club to play their best, to work their hardest, and to be the best Emory Eagle they can possibly be. So we're getting ready here for the second half now. It's going to be Colin Sawyer inboundsing it for Brandeis. He comes into Nasser, and this second half is underway. Emory trails by 5, 37-32. That's the biggest lead in the game. Emory's biggest lead was a 2-point lead. It's been very close with a lot of lead changes. Terrific pass by Lean, and Sawyer just couldn't convert. So Emory with a bit of a break there. That was a terrific pass by Lean, the point guard. Emory's got their normal starters out there. Mason Johnson, Nick Stuck. There's Mason from 3. He hits, and a good start to the second half for the Emory Eagles. Cutting into that 5-point lead is now just a 2-point lead at 37-35. Also out there, Romin Williams, Lawrence Rowley, and Matthew Schnare. Jones now throws it away, a steal. Emory off to a good start here in the second half. Top of the key it goes, around the horn it goes. Rowley from 3 hits. Emory with back-to-back jacks, and Emory has taken the lead quickly, 38-37. And before you can say Bobby Knight, there it is. Emory down by 5, hit 2 3-pointers to start the second half, and they're up 38-37 with 18:52 to go in this basketball game. I mentioned Bobby Knight. I covered the General for 5 years in the 80s, and he told me on many occasions the most important 5 minutes of any game are the first 5 minutes of the second half. That's when you set the tone for what's going to happen down the stretch. So that being the case, in the first minute and 8 seconds of the second half, things are going okay Emory's way as they hit back-to-back three-pointers and take a 1-point lead at 38-37. Of course, Jason Zimmerman has just done an outstanding job for this Emory University basketball program. 231 wins in 13 seasons. That's all-time tops. He's taken his team to 7 consecutive NCAA tournaments, and an 8th straight is very, 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 very possible. He's had 11 consecutive winning seasons for Emory. I've been doing the games for the last 7 years, and it's been a real treat to see how this program has just developed and gotten better and better and better. Emory is ranked 9th in the polls this week. They've been ranked as high as 9th, or as high as 2nd. They're ranked 9th this week. They've had 3 losses, 2 buzzer beaters against Guilford and these Brandeis judges, and then 1 other loss to the University of Chicago, which was here at home. But 18-3 overall and 8-2 in conference play, tied with Washington University for the top spot in the conference as we speak. Brandeis 1 game back with a 7-3 conference record. A little bit short it goes there with Haggerty, and Emory with the basketball. And again, a chance. Nice behind the back dribble by Nick Stuck. He gets the handle back. Emory on a 6-0 run here in the second half. Mason Johnson gives it up. Nick Stuck takes it into the paint, looking for somebody to go to. Goes to Lawrence Rowley. It's blocked by Haggerty. And here come the judges. Sawyer takes it, no good. Rebound tipped up once, no good. Couple of Emory Eagles there. Mason Johnson finally gets it ahead to Nick Stuck, the point guard. Nick decides to take it all the way. It's blocked by Lean, and a foul called on Lean. He didn't quite agree with the whistle, but nonetheless, that's the way it goes. Nick Stuck is going to go to the free throw line. Nick's had an outstanding junior season. He's hitting just a whisker under 10 points per game, averaging 3.8 rebounds per game. He's the leading assist guy on the team. He hits for 39 points for the team as Emory is now on a 7-0 run. And if he hits this, it'll be the biggest Emory lead of the ball game at 3, and he does. So 40-37. Emory on an 8-0 run here at the start of the second half. Jones with it, brings it across the timeline. Sawyer now to the side to Nasser. Nasser looking for somewhere to go. Inside, blocked beautifully. Great timing by Mason Johnson. And he just said, don't bring the weak stuff in here, and he just put it into the wall. So there's 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. The judges are going to have to pay attention to that. In it goes to Jones. Jones all the way across to Sawyer. Sawyer misfires, and a nice rebound by Schnarr. Romin Williams pops the 3 and hits. Emory 43-37. The judges have not scored this half. Emory on an 11-0 run, and those are the kind of runs we like. Coach Gene Bain on the sidelines got a couple of guys to shuffle in to try to find some offense. Almost stolen away there by Romin Williams. Clamage with a jumper, no good. Big rebound. Lawrence Rowley went sky high for it, and here comes Nick Stuck, who drives to the hoop, gives it off to the corner. Mason almost with the 3. Matthew Schnarr almost with a 3. He dribbles in now, backs in, loses the handle, and here comes Sawyer with it. Emory on an 11-0 run, up 43-37. 6-point lead is the biggest Emory's had. Crowd getting into it. Zucker now, he's the leading scorer for Brandeis with 8 points in the first half. Tipped away, and the shot clock has just 12 seconds left, so Brandeis will have to pay attention to that. Number 2, Lawrence Sabir checks in for the judges. as does Austin Clamage. His brother plays for Rochester. Jones comes across to Clamage. He gets double teamed and trapped. Jones now drives in for a 15-foot jumper, misfires, and a rebound by Mason Johnson, and Emory can keep this run going. Three-pointer, good by Lawrence Rowley. Take that, 46-37. The Brandeis judges have not scored in this half, which is 4 minutes old. Emory on a 14-0 run right now. So things going Emory's way. And a lot of things have gone Emory's way. They were founded in Oxford, Georgia in 1836. They moved to their present location, Emory University, in 1915. President Claire Stirk has done an outstanding job leading over 15,000 students on a 631-acre campus. There's over 13,000 faculty and staff. Students come from all 50 states and over 100 foreign countries. The alumni base is over 149,000. Emory has produced 11 U.S. congressmen, 2 Nobel Prize winners, and 1 vice president of the United States, and Alben Barkley, who was the 35th vice president under Harry Truman back in the 40s. So Emory University just getting stronger and better and doing just a great job academically as well as athletically here on the campus in Decatur. 46-37. Bob Knight was right. First 5 minutes of the second half, very important in this game as Emory's gone on a 14-0 run. And Emory now with a 9-point lead, which is its biggest of the game. It was really a back and forth shootout in the first half. Emory with just a little bit of full court pressure. Sabir says, hey, I'll take it down, and Nick Stuck will guard him. He drives to the hoop, and Sabir hits. They kind of cleared it out for the 5'10 junior out of Providence. He's averaging 8.5 points per game, and he just drove on in and scored. So Emory's 14-0 run ends right there, but still with a 7-point lead. Sabir now with a chance for a 3-point play. And he hits. So with 15:48 to go, Emory's lead is 6 at 46-40. Romin Williams still Emory's leading scorer with 10 points. He's got the ball right now. Moves off a pick. Lawrence Rowley into Snare. Snare to Nick Stuck from 3. A little bit too hard. Emory crashing the boards. It's Matthew Snare who comes away with it. Romin Williams from downtown Decatur, and he hits a long ranger. 49-40 as Emory hits another 3-pointer to go up by 9. And a turnover. Turnover is the bane of Coach Gene Bain's existence, a travel there. In the first half, both sides had 4 turnovers, which is pretty good basketball. Of course, coaches look for perfection there. They don't like to see any. Inside it goes. Mason Johnson turnaround off the glass. The banker, the Mr. Drysdale shot, and Emory now with a 51-40 lead, biggest of the game. Brandeis' biggest lead was 5 points at halftime. They've only scored 3 points on 1 3-point play by Sabir. And there's the freshman, number 23, Matan Zucker, the 6'5 freshman out of New Jersey, and he just muscled his way in to make it 51-42. Snare, cross court it goes. Romin Williams with it. Romin has 16 points. Nice pass. And there's Matthew Snare with an easy shot inside to make it 53-42. And a timeout called with 14:24 to go here in the ball game. Emory coming into this one with an 18-3 record, 8-2 in conference play. Washington U is likewise 8-2 in conference play, and Brandeis lost at Rochester on Friday. They dropped a game out of first. They are 7-3 in conference play. After today, there's only going to be 3 regular season games to go. 2 next weekend and then the following Saturday. And then it'll be time for the NCAA to figure out who they're going to invite to the tournament. And Emory is well positioned to be there. Emory is the defending UAA champ. Emory's won 6 conference championships in 1918 and 1990. And then again under Coach Jason Zimmerman in 2013, 2015, 2016, and then again last year. Emory was the preseason favorite to win again this year. And right now they're living up to that, tied for first place against the always tough Bears of Washington University. Emory in the home gray. Brandeis in the visiting dark blue. Brandeis doesn't know quite what hit him here in the second half. Emory led by as many as 11, and that's where it stands right now. 53-42. Brandeis with the ball. Sabir with it, and he'll bring it up. Diaguano's in there. He's their three-point shooter, or their best three-point shooter. They got other guys. Sawyer with it now. He's their leading scorer over the course of the season. Nice dish off. And Haggerty puts it in to make it 53-44. Emory by 9. Emory with a lot of crisp passing, a lot of snap to it. Mason Johnson is fouled inside. There were 3 blue jerseys around him, so we'll see who they call it on. They call it on number 5. That's Dylan Lean, the freshman. He's the point guard. I'm not really sure what he was doing inside, trying to guard the much taller 6'7" Mason Johnson. Mason hits that to give Emory a 10-point lead. Mason with 13 points, and he has averaged 13 points in his last 4 starts. So he's done an excellent job since been inserted into the starting lineup. Greg Lawrence is checked in. He hits them both. Emory up 55-44. Romin Williams playing the good defense on Sabir. Sabir is very quick off that dribble, shoots up an air ball, gets his, it was Jones getting the rebound, and then he got fouled. The foul was called on number 32. That's Matthew Schnarr. That's his second. That's the team's second. Jones hits the free throw there. He's averaging 14 points a game. He's shooting 67% from the free throw line. Colin Sawyer is the team's leading scorer at 15.4 points per game. And then Edward Diaguano is the other guy in double figures, averaging 11.1 points per game. 55-46. Brandeis with some full court pressure, and they commit a foul. Nobody really in foul trouble for either team right now. Nick stuck with it across to Matt Schnarr. Comes back outside. Rowley from 3. Hits! Lawrence Rowley with another three-pointer. That's his third of the game. Rowley now with 13 big points. Emory with their biggest lead at 58-46. So right now 3 guys in double figures for Emory. Romin Williams has 16 to lead the way. Mason Johnson has 14 and Lawrence Rowley has 13. Long ranger by Sayre, and he hits the rainbow jumper. Cuts the Emory lead to 58-49. 12:51 to go. Mason Johnson backs in, puts it in, and hits the jump shot and draws the foul. An opportunity for a three-point play for big Mason Johnson. He has 16 points. He has been a force. Emory's lead back to 11 at 60-49. Mason eyes it, skies it, and a little bit too hard. 60-49 your score. Emory trailed by 5 at the beginning of the second half. Went on a 14-0 run to take charge. Inside it goes, Haggerty with it. Bank shot, no good, missed the rim. Nick Stuck brings it down. Left-handed dribble behind the back, gives it up to Rowley, who just hit the three-pointer. Nice pass to Matthew Snare, who got the deflected pass, put it up and put it in, and Matt has 8 points. So he's closing in on double figures. Sawyer with it now, gives it up to Justice. To Jones to Haggerty. I think they got a foul on number 24. Mason Johnson, that was one of those situations where instead of moving his feet, he used his hands, and that's his 4th foul, so he is in foul trouble. And he's going to go take a seat with 12 minutes to go in the game. And Emory up by 13 at 62-49. Biggest lead of the game for Emory. It'll be Brandeis basketball on the sideline. Sawyer looking for somebody to give it to. And then he just throws it away. Justice picks it up, then dishes it nicely inside to Zucker, who misses a couple of shots in there. He's a good-looking freshman, but he is a freshman. Matt Davitt from 3. He hits it, his 3rd three-pointer of the game. Matt Davitt, 65-49, and the Emory crowd going wild as Emory has built up a 16-point lead. Coach Gene Bain says, we've got to take a timeout and talk about all this. And Emory hits. It's just been amazing. Emory has started the second half red hot and has just kept it going. Emory hit 36% in the first half, but they built it back up to 21 of 24 for 47.7%. Let's check that as the stats were just updated. 23 of 46. Emory's now hitting 50% for the game. They hit only 36% in this first half, so they've really turned it on, and they've hit 11 of 22 now from the home run arc, which is 50%. Way better than what they were hitting in the first half. They're 8 of 11 from the free throw line, so 72%. But the Emory Eagles just red hot from the field here in this second half. And they have taken charge. Romin Williams with 16 points. Mason Johnson with 16 points. Lawrence Rowley with 13 points. Sawyer shoots, no good. Rebound by Jones, puts it up and in. Good second chance point as he gets the offensive rebound and puts it back up and in. 65-51 Emory. Lawrence Rowley blocked as he goes in, cleaned out of there by Matan Zucker. And there's Zabir driving in, or that was Justice driving in. Missed the first one, and then a foul called on Emory with 10:58 to go here in the game. Matan Zucker goes to the free throw line. 6'5" freshman. Out of Nanapaw, New Jersey. And he misfires there. Greg Lawrence checks in. Lawrence Rowley takes a breather. But Emory hitting just 12 of 33 in the first half, 36%, and just 4 of 14 from the home run arc, just 28%, is now up to 50% on both. Davitt back outside. And there's a Romin Williams with a long jumper, in and out, no good. Zucker with a rebound. He's been an impressive looking freshman. Justice kind of loses the handle, but gets it back. 10:30 to go in the game. Emory up by 14, 65-51. Justice to Diaguano. Diaguano from home run land. That's an air ball. Last touch by Greg Lawrence. But the shot clock is at 8, so Brandeis will have to run a fairly quick play to get a shot off. Luke Morrison now checks back into the lineup for Emory. Romin Williams takes a breather. Greg Lawrence with that big wingspan is checking the inbounds pass. Goes to Haggerty. He comes back out to Sawyer. There's only 8 seconds, and it's tipped away by Matthew Snare. Terrific defense. Snare comes back out. Open on the sideline, looking for somewhere to go. In the corner, Greg Lawrence, the left-hander. Top of the key to Davitt. Davitt from just inside, 3 hits. I think that's just 2, but boy, that was close. Matt Davitt with another great jumper. Matt Davitt now with 10 points. And a whistle. That's on Matt. That's his second. That's the team's 5th. Justice takes a seat now. And Lean comes back in. Sabir's going to inbounds it. They have trouble getting it in, but they get it into Jones. Jones now inside to Haggerty. He's checked by Davitt. Sabir from 3, no good. Long rebound, nicely done by Haggerty. Long range by Sawyer, and he missed everything. And then got his own rebound, missed again. Davitt wide open from 3, hit. Matt Davitt, a 3-pointer, his 3rd of the game. He now has 13 points. Emory has a 19-point lead. Zabir scores. Zabir now with 9 points off the bench. Gene Bain calls another timeout. It was a 19-point lead. Now it's a 17-point lead. As everything has been clicking for the Emory Eagles here in the second half. Just real quick, I'll remind you what they were doing in the first half. 12 of 33 from the field. That's 36%. 4 of 14. That's 28% from the home run arc. So now we look. Emory, 23 of 46 from the field, 50%. And it looks like they're 12 of 23, which is over 50% from the home run line. So Emory really shooting the ball well here in the second half. They went on a 14-0 run to start the second half to go from 5 points down to 9 points up. They've led by as many as 19, which was just a second ago, and they currently lead by 17 at 70-53. So I think Emory was looking for a little payback to that 75-73 buzzer beater loss that happened at Brandeis. And they've tried to enforce their will against the judges here on the home hardwood at the Robert Woodruff PE Center. 8:55 to go. Emory up by 17, 70-53. Every game huge in terms of conference play. Emory 8-2 and tied with Washington University for the top spot. Brandeis just 1 game back at 7-3 in conference play. Everybody trying to catch the eye of the NCAA selection committee. Matt Davitt has been outstanding today. Matthew Snare from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound to Haggerty. Quickly ahead to Sawyer, to Sabir. Sabir to Sawyer to Zucker. Zucker a lot of minutes today. He didn't start, but he's played a lot of minutes. Haggerty, he hits the shot inside. And it's a 15-point lead for Emory at 70-55. Emory trying to go back door. The ball bounced out to Davitt. and he was fouled. That's the 15th foul. That foul was on Haggerty, his third. Mason Johnson checks back into the lineup. Nick Stuck is going to take a breather. Luke Morrison is going to take a breather. Lawrence Rowley is checked back in. Mason Johnson backs in, turnaround jumper, a little like Larry Bird, no good. Haggerty with the rebound, 7:48 to go. Emory up 15, across court to go. Lean from three, no good. Matthew snares another rebound. That's his 8th rebound of the game. He's just turned into a rebounding machine here in the second half of the season. Long range by Sawyer, no good. Rebound by Mason Johnson to Romin Williams, and here come the Eagles. Sabir playing good defense on Romin. Mason Johnson to Matthew Snare. Snare has 8 points. And Lawrence just lost sight of that ball for just a second, and that was all it took. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Brandeis basketball. Matan Zucker's going to trigger it in to Sabir. Emory's just going to pick him up man-to-man in the front court, or in the back court. Sabir drives, nowhere to go, throws it away. Lawrence Rowley with the steal. Here's Matthew Snare. He dishes it off. Lawrence Rowley, left hand, puts it up, puts it in. And Lawrence Rowley hits again. And another timeout called. 72-55 as Emory just keeps plugging along. Rowley with 15 points now. Really solid game. We've got Romin Williams with 16, Mason Johnson with 16 and 5 rebounds. Lawrence Rowley has 13 points and 6 rebounds. Matt Davitt, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Matthew Snare has 8 points and 8 rebounds. Emory Eagles go on the road for 2 next week. And then the following week on Saturday, the final game of the year will be also on the road against Rochester. So the last 3 regular season games of the UAA Conference will be on the road for the Emory Eagles. This is the last home game. It was senior day. Emory honoring the lone senior on the team, Nick Tupianen. His mom, Claudia, and his dad, Michael, were on hand for all the festivities. Very proud of their son, who has a 3.7 ERA. Not ERA, grade point average. 3.7 ERA would be pretty good too, but I don't think he's a baseball pitcher. Sorry about that. But he's heading off to a job in New York City. Lean with it. He's in trouble. They give it up to Nasser. Stolen away by Romin Williams. Great anticipation. Watch this guy go. He cooks with gas, goes all the way down, is clobbered, but nothing is called. Lawrence Rowley with the rebound and puts it back up and in. Romin Williams doing all the heavy lifting there, including taking a bow to the head, but nothing called. Emory gets another 2 points. As Rowley now has 17 points to lead everybody. There's another whistle. Game getting a little raggedy here with 6:05 to go, and Emory cruising with a 19-point lead. Matt Davitt checking back in for the Emory Eagles as Mason Johnson takes a breather. Matt Davitt has 13 points. Colin Sawyer at the free throw line, the 6'3" senior out of New London, Connecticut, is the leading scorer for the Judges, averaging 15.8 points per game. He's got 10 points tonight. He's a 78% free throw shooter. .605 to go. And play is about to resume. Sawyer at the line, shooting 2. Hits the first. He has 11 points now. Lawrence Rowley has 17 points for Emory, 16 points for Romin Williams, and 16 points for Mason Johnson. Emory breaking the press. Oh, almost thrown away. Nasser almost with an interception, and it did go off Nick Stuck's hand. So an Emory turnover with 5:58 to go gives the ball back. Davitt now takes a seat, and Nick Tuppianen comes in, the only senior on this team. Coach Jason Zimmerman told me in the preseason he's the epitome of what a good teammate is all about. Ahead to Lawrence Rowley, who lays it up and in. Nice assist by Nick Stuck. Rowley with 19 points. Emory back up 76-57, matching the biggest lead of the game at 19. Clamage no good. Rebound, Matthew Schnare. Romin Williams goes cross court to Nick Stuck. Nick says, let's run a play. The clock is our friend. We're up 19 points with 5:20 to go. Nick with it now. Nick's like having a coach on the court. Very high basketball IQ, knows where all the players are supposed to be at all times. And just right there, he's telling the guys what they should be into next. That's the 6th team foul. It's going to be Emory ball underneath their own hoop. Nick Stuck is going to trigger it. Whistle away from the ball. Looks like they caught Austin Clamage doing something. So it's a foul on Austin. That 17 fouls, and that puts Emory into the bonus. So Romin Williams is going to shoot the bonus. Hits the first. 77-57. Emory with a 20-point lead with 5:10 to go. Romin Williams with 17 points. Make it 18. This all started. Emory was down 5 points at the half. Emory went on a 14-zip run to start the second half and have never looked back. Foul inside with 4:53 to go. Emory with a 21-point lead. Match is the biggest of the game. That sent Chandler Jones to the free throw line. He's a 67% free throw shooter, averaging right at 14 points a game. Hits the first. 6'5" junior from Springfield, Massachusetts. Emory by 20, and he hits them both. Coach Gene Bain has his team in full court pressure. Emory no troubles, no worries. Romin Williams with it now. Best dribbler in Division III. Romin drives down the hoop, lays it up, and in! Romin Williams with 20 points. He's the team's leading scorer at 17 points per game. He's got 20 today. Emory with a 21-point lead. Jones now, he puts it up and in. And Matthew Snare is going to bring it across. Matthew with 8 points. Into the corner. Romin Williams, top of the key to Nick. Nick Stuck now. Shoots the jumper and hits. Nick Stuck hits to make it 82-61. And there's another timeout on the court. Emory with a 21-point lead. Everything cruising right along nicely. Again, we want to salute Nick Tuppianen, the lone senior here on Senior Day. This year he's seen action as a reserve in 14 games. He totaled a season high 8 points in a win over Case Western Reserve. In addition, his unheralded but vitally important defensive effort aided in a 73-68 victory over Washington U. He's a great student. He's a 3-time member of the UAA All-Academic Team and carries a 3.73 GPA as an English major. After graduating, he's going to be flying off to the Big Apple to New York to work as a client services associate for Alpha Sites. He was joined in the pregame festivities today, which included roses for his mom Claudia and photos. His dad Michael was on hand. So just a very nice Senior Day ceremony, and it looks like they're going to send him off with a nice Senior Day victory as well. 82-61, Emory by 21, 3:51 to go. Inbounds it comes to Justice. Justice drives in, gives it up, and there's a foul called. Ref's calling it very, very close for a 21-point game. So Colin Sawyer is going to go to the free throw line. He's going to shoot the bonus. He's the team's leading scorer, averaging 15.8 points per game. He's got 12 today, make it 13. He's a 78% free throw shooter on the season. Emory by 20. And he hits them both. 82-63, some full court pressure by Brandeis. Matthew Snare breaks it, brings it up, gets it back out top to Nick Stuck, who says, hey, clock's our friend. Let's just work the offense, get a good shot. And boy, do they ever. A good layup shot to Matthew Snare. Nice pass by Lawrence Rowley. And Matt's going to go to the free throw line. He has 8 points today and 8 big rebounds. Hits the first. Matthew Snare has just done an outstanding job for the Emory Eagles this year. He's averaged 15.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, plays terrific defense. He can handle the ball. He can play, any number of positions defensively. He gets the long rebound there. Lawrence Rowley from three, no good. A rebound by Justice, and here comes Justice. And another whistle. Foul there's on Lawrence Rowley. That's his third. Lawrence with 19 points. Justice hits the first. He has 3 points on the day. And he hits them both. He's a 60% free throw shooter. Nick Stuck to Lawrence Rowley, back to Nick. Nick brings it across the timeline. 3 minutes to go in this game. Emory up 83-66, and another whistle. Perhaps the referees are trying to set a record for most fouls in a game. I'm not sure, but boy. Lots of whistles. 10 team fouls on Emory, 9 team fouls this half on Brandeis. Roman hits the first. He's got 21 points. And he's got 22 points. Emory's got a 20-point lead. Here comes Justice with the basketball. Guarded by Nick Stuck. Top of the key is Jones. He tries to feed Sawyer, but it goes off Sawyer's hand, so it's going to be Emory basketball. Matan Zucker, number 23, checks back in for Brandeis as Chandler Jones takes a seat. Matt Snare, we were just talking about Matt. He brings it on up. Nice dish to Lawrence Rowley, who misses the shot but gets fouled. Nice pass by Matthew Snare. And Lawrence Rowley's going to go to the free throw line. He has 19 points. Make it 20. A really nice game today by Lawrence Rowley. 21. Emory up 87-65, 22-point lead. That's the biggest of the game. Emory trailed by 5 at halftime, went on a 14-0 run and has never looked back. Zucker checked by Rowley to Justice, who drives in, puts up the left-handed shot, no good. Rowley with the rebound to Nick Stuck. Nick is in no hurry. 2:20 to go in this one. Emory up by 22. Romin Williams with it. Nick Stuck drives in, gives it up. Top of the key, Romin Williams hits the three. 25 points for Romin Williams as he hits and gives Emory a 25-point lead at 90-65. And what a second half. Emory trailed 37-32 at halftime. So they've scored 58 points here in the second half already with 2 minutes still to go. They scored the first 14 points of the second half to go from 5 points down to 9 points up. They built that lead and built that lead and built that lead, and now it stands at 25 points as they zero in on win number 19 on the season and number 9 in conference play. Clay Washburn has checked into the Emory lineup, as has Lonzie Portis. Nick is out there. Max Freed is out there. And Dubé Nake is out there. So those are your 5 in gray for Emory for the final 2 minutes. The Iguana with it. He can shoot from outside. A block there by Clay Washburn. Mike Gow has the shot blocked, number 35. He's just checked in. Justice is going to trigger it in, and now Nick Tupianen takes a seat, gets a hug from his coach. It's senior night, it's his night, and his team is going to go out with a big, big win in his final home game as a senior at Emory University. So congratulations, Nick Tupianen, just a tremendous individual, a great leader on this team. And Coach will tell you, a lot of the success of these 18, soon to be 19 wins can fall back on his shoulders and the leadership of Nick Tupianen. Minute to go, 90-65. A block by Gow. Justice has it. Comes across the line with under a minute. In and out, no good. Clay Washburn with a nice board. Max Freed will bring it up. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Portis. Yes! That's Pierre Coffey. He hit that one. And that was a three-pointer to make it 93-65. Biggest lead of the game. In and out, no good. Tipped out of bounds. .28 Emory lead. Iguana looks like he's going to play a little full court pressure. They lob it in to Lonzie Portis, who dribbles it across the court. And that may be it. The coaches are shaking hands. Coach Jason Zimmerman, Coach Gene Bain. That's going to be it on senior day. Emory's going to take away a 93-65 win. And Emory raises its record to 19-3 overall, 9-2 in conference play, while Brandeis slips to 15-7 overall and 7-4 in conference play. Romin Williams led the way in scoring with 25 points for the Emory Eagles. Lawrence Rowley, a tremendous game. He has 21 points and 7 rebounds. Mason Johnson had 16 points and 6 rebounds. Matt Davitt had 3 3-pointers and 13 points. Matthew Snare had 9 points and 9 big rebounds. Nick Stuck, the point guard, had 6 points and 7 assists. Pierre Coffey had 3 points. And that's your scoring for Emory. For the judges of Brandeis, they were led in scoring by Colin Sawyer, who had 14. Chandler Jones has 10. Lawrence Sabir has 9. Matan Zucker has 8, all in the first half. Nolan Haggerty has 8. Eric Diaguano has 6 on a couple of 3-pointers. Derek Justice has 4. Austin Clamage has 3. And Dylan Lean has 3. And that's your scoring for Brandeis. So Emory wins this basketball game 93-65. Stay tuned. The Emory women's game is just about ready to tip off as well, and it's going to be a great one. Emory now hits the road for 3 consecutive games. They'll wrap up in 2 weeks on Saturday at Rochester, and then we'll see what happens in terms of NCAA play. But right now, Emory is 19-3. They're tied for the top spot, pending on what Washington U does today. They are 9-2 in conference play. So again, congratulations to Nick Tuppianen on senior night. Emory goes out a winner, 93-65. Women are up next. So until next time, have a great week, and so long, everybody.